So Jim ran the last election cycle against Randy Hogan for the Congressional 14th District seat here. And we've asked him to come and speak to our group this afternoon. So please welcome Jim Walz.
Having a pre-speech Marco Rubio moment here. Thank you, John. Thank you so much for being here. This is fantastic. This is the silver lining to the Trump presidency, and it's the only silver lining to the Trump presidency. Sorry that I didn't say. One other thing, I'd like to make something crystal clear. How many of you went to the Randy Hogan question and answer? Okay. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. All right. The claim that was made that did not appear, that scheduled debates, is an absolute lie. Okay. The only instances where we had a public debate, which was a 24-minute question and answer session down at the Kendall County Farm Bureau down in Yorkville, and it happened 2 weeks before the election. Up until that time, I believe he insulted the constituencies of the 14th District thrice. Once at a meet and greet at College of Lake County, up at Grays Lake. Again, up at the McHenry County League of Women Voters, up in McHenry County, and also locally, Kane County League of Women Voters. I want to assure you that I would relish the opportunity to match wits with our present congressman. I wouldn't even call him a representative because he is not. So I just want to make it, for those in the room here that heard the comment made, it is an absolute untruth, and I'll just leave it at that, okay? But for those that don't know me, my name is Jim Walz, 54 years old, happily married to my bride, around her for 31 years. We have 2 wonderful children. Stephen, who's 25, lives in Boston, landscape architect. If you go down to the Chicago River, walk down to Chicago River during the summer, he was the lead designer of this new thing called the Jetty. Okay, so if you go down the Chicago River Walk, the company he works for out of Boston, was the lead architect for all the project down there. My son had a lot to do with that. My daughter Rachel just turned 22, lives and works in Denver, Colorado, is a registered nutritionist and dietitian. My wife, wonderful wife, has been a teacher for 31 years. Do we have any teachers in the room?
All right.
God bless. I'll get to teachers in a minute. But part of my resume includes, occupationally, I'm in outside sales. I made the mistake 15 years ago of turning off sports and music and turning on current events. And through the process of going through the various options on the radio, I came across a radio talk show host who changed my life. Because also on that show, he introduced me to somebody who taught me to believe if you want to see positive change, you have to be that change. And his name is Bernie Sanders. The show itself is Tom Hartman's show, so if you ever get a chance to tune in to 820 WCPT, between 11 and 2, he's the rhythm. So I knew at that time that my life was going to change both civically and politically. But my children were at an age where I didn't really want to get involved at that time. I figured my place was at home, and I wanted to wait till my daughter graduated high school. Well, 2 things happened her senior year, the election of Joe Walsh and Citizens United decision. So I kind of fast forwarded things a year, got involved with Move to Amend, because several things that really plague our country is the health of our democracy, the health of our environment, and the health of each other. All right. The health of our democracy, the Citizens United case, was my first stab at the civics. I organized and was able to get an advisory question on the Warren Township ballot to declare that corporations are not people and money is not free speech back in November of 2012. It did pass by 2-1 margin, showing that that issue was a bipartisan issue with no party lines. And then, as you know, Illinois became the 16th state to call on Congress to enact the constitutional amendments, again, to declare that corporations are not people and money is not free speech. As far as the environment, I am a advocate for all renewable energies as stewards of the earth, it is our moral imperative to reduce our dependency on the fossil fuel industry. As a school board member at Warren Township High School in Gurnee, one of the larger school districts in the state of Illinois, I have championed the cause to the point where we are into the process of putting solar panels on both of our campuses. In addition, on the ground solar applications at both of our campuses for educational purposes on all things STEM. We need to invest in our intellectual infrastructure, our students, our teachers, and our buildings, okay? With these projects, it's estimated that we're going to be able to generate 63% of our own energy to the savings in our district up there, $550,000 a year. And in addition to that, as a school district, we also have 100 acres of land as a school district, and we are talking to county officials about getting some text language changed in the county for codes. We're talking to them about putting solar farm on 60 of those acres as well. So I'm very excited about what the potential is. We need to heal our earth, not to destroy it. Anti-fracker, okay? That's a nomination as well. And then the health of each other. All right, let me be crystal clear. I'm a Medicare for all kind of a guy, right? You know, I know I might be speaking with people of like minds here, and that's terrific, but you know, I want to pound certain things through here. We're the only industrialized country in the world that does not offer basic medical care to their citizens, and we're supposed to be number one. Give me a break. The only health care that health insurance companies provide is stress, okay? And we need to take the profit motive out of our pharmaceutical industry and out of our insurance companies. And also keep in mind this, you know, if we can etch and sketch everything, boom, universal health care, Medicare for all, right off the bat. But given the system that we have, things have to be done gradually.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody knows that my goal would be Medicare for all. But we can't do things like this cannot happen overnight. The system would not be able to absorb the enormity of the number of people. Okay? But there are 3 things right off the bat that we can do that I think are easy do's. One of which is, just as we the people, you know, the government, are able to negotiate prices on behalf of the Veterans Administration, and just as we the people, you know, the government, are able to negotiate prices on behalf of Medicaid, I believe that we the people, the government, should be allowed to negotiate prices on behalf of Medicare as well. And or reinforce drugs from other countries. Now, Company A sells drug A to Canada, and that same company sells it to us for, you know, $4. No. That's not the way it should be. We have robbed our middle class. Everybody in this room, and another point I'd like to make clear. We talk about the job creators, you know, the people at the top. No. The people who create jobs are people in this room. All right? People who make their money and spend their money in the local communities, you create jobs. You are the job creators. Okay? That is a fact. Okay? So the one thing the Republicans have been masters at doing over the last 35 years, they've hijacked the English language. Us thinking up is down and down is up, left is right, okay? We are the job creators. We need to put more money in the pockets of people like you and me, okay? Because we go spend our money, it's called a virtuous cycle. We have to churn our money to create jobs. Giving tax cuts to the rich is not going to happen. Another thing that another topic of contempt for me is Social Security and the falsehood that it's in danger of solvency. It's nonsense. Okay? I used to go, you know, one of the things that, you know, if I'm fortunate enough, first, to get my name on the ballot, okay? B, to get through the primary season, okay? There's going to be challengers, and challengers are good for you, okay? To give the constituents of the 14th district choices, okay? I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not gonna run against my opponents. I'm running for the people of 14th District, okay? But one of the things, if I am fortunate enough to get past that point, I know what I have to do to win the election in November of 2018, okay? What I have to do is go talk to independents and leading Republicans, okay? Because the one thing I found out knocking on 9,695 doors throughout the district, okay? I went all over the place. The one thing I found with certainty is that on a door-to-door basis, Republicans and Democrats were more alike than we're not, okay? Now, yes, there are fringes. We can all agree on that, okay? But I have family and friends that I will love to death, till my death. They're Republicans. You know what? We can agree to disagree, but 80% of the time, there's so much gray area of agreement that we have to work on those things of agreement. Okay, about politics. I think people are coming around for Medicare for all, and another thing, Social Security. So I'm going to be going behind enemy lines. I went to Joe Walz town halls, okay, and there's one on tape. And I also had an taped incident with Bruce Rocker, our present governor. But Joe Walz, I used to go to town halls, and he used to have crowds like this, maybe 50% more at different locations. And for some reason, he would always allow me to ask him a question. Okay, and that was great. Because I know the question I was going to ask him, I'm not going to change his mind, okay? But if I ask the right question, people in the audience, you can teach by asking questions, okay? Teachers should know that, right? So I simply asked the question. A lot of people, maybe most of you do, maybe I'm sure all of you do, but there's a cap on Social Security insurance, okay? Anybody that makes up to over $118,000 a year does not put in Social Security insurance anymore. So if somebody who makes $500,000, $1 million, $5, $10 million, $50 million, they only pay up to the cap of $118,000. If we simply lifted the cap, okay, they would make Social Security solvent in perpetuity, and we'd be able to expand, not reduce Social Security benefits. So that's another thing that I would strive for as well. So the point is, after all of those town halls, so without fail, after each one, there's probably 4 town halls that I went to with kids. Each time, several people would, hey, thank you so much for answering the question, because I had no idea that was a fact. Again, there are easy fixes to all of these things, in my mind at least. But again, change doesn't necessarily, positive change that I'd like to see doesn't necessarily happen overnight. We have to appeal to other people's sensibilities, because again, we're more likely than we are not. Over the last 15 years as well, I drive a lot. I'm in outside sales, drive 40,000 miles a year. And you have random thoughts, and it's like a little play on words here. I came to, if pro is the opposite of con, what does that say about the words progress and Congress? Keep in mind, I know the difference of progress is regress, but that's for your teachers out there. But I'm excited by what I see throughout the district, throughout the country for that matter. Our present occupant of the White House is certainly energized, to the point that everybody is here. Thank you so much for being here on a day like this. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm also here to answer any questions. If anybody has any questions along the way, feel free to pop up and ask me questions. I also have, okay, I'm not ready to formally make any declarative statements. I'm 99% sure. Okay, I've got to dot some I's and cross some T's here before I really officially declare my candidacy, but you can be assured that just as I did the first time around, I promise you that I will hustle. I was grossly outspent, I knew going into this that I would be outspent, no question about it, but I was not going to allow myself to be out-hustled, okay? During the primary season, there were 2 other candidates. I received the endorsements from the Tribune, the Sun-Times, and the Daily Herald, and I won a 3-way race back in March of last year with 43% of the vote in a 3-way race. And during the general election, I'm not embarrassed by my efforts. I'm a little dismayed at the numbers, but as time goes on, I can see 137,000 votes.